YouTube. This is Dr. Wanda. So I'm sitting down on this amazing Thursday for our chat. The last few days I spent talking to you about financial literacy, and I think pretty much the most important things I wanted to share about I've shared. And if something should arise in my spirit, or I get some new information or a new epiphany, then I'll revisit that topic. But for now, I think it's time for us to move on. And so I want to deal with a major question that I'm asked a lot, which is about the men here. I'm asked very often, uh, how different are the Ghanaians to, say, the African American men that I'm used to growing up with? What's the difference? Is there a difference? And did that difference sort of influence my having married Isaac? So the short and long to this question is uh, no. The men are men. That's what you're going to discover. Now, there are lots of men here. Uh, it is raining men. In fact, I always tell my friends, I say, it's raining men. Hallelujah. You know, there used to be a song that was out in the 70s for the disco. And that song is very much in play here. This country is full of men. This is a country that the women give birth to a lot of boys. There's a lot of boys here. And also you'll notice that there are a lot of twins here. I see a lot of twins here. So these things is not like I've done some authentic scientific research. It's stuff that you can just notice. Okay, but in terms of the men, no, it's an interesting thing. The men are just the men, you know. Um, they're beautiful. They're chocolate. They're tall. They're sleek. They're fit. They're fine. They're handsome. Many of them are well dressed, well put together. Some of the things that have turned some of us more seasoned women off, in terms of the sag and just sort of, like that grunge look. That's not really a favorite look here. You don't really see that here, although the West influence is pushing in some ways with that. Um, that whole transgender man, that whole bisexual, openly bisexual sort of effeminate man. He doesn't. I mean, I'm sure that category of men exists among all men. These are issues we've dealt with all the way back from biblical times, so that's nothing new. But in general, that's not a dominant feature that you see here. So as women looking for men, interested in men, the the um, the fields are plentiful. Now, that has nothing to do with folks' character. Just because they're here and they're handsome and they're well dressed and they practice greetings and salutations very well. You meet many of them that quote scriptures. That you get lots of them that actually even have biblical names. Um, it has nothing to do with the core elements of their character. So you still facing men. So, I've never been catcalled in Africa. And, for us Americans, we know catcall is like, hey, good looking and damn and come here, let me talk to you, let me holler at you. That doesn't tend to go on here. But you do get an awful lot of marriage proposals. You do get a fair share of folks who just kind of want to come around. Um, People flirt culturally in different ways and get your attention in different ways. You get a lot of folks that hop into your inbox. You get a lot of folks that hop into your inbox, you're on the messenger, and then want to have your actual phone number and meet you on the WhatsApp and then talk you to death. So it's just a different way of coming to meet somebody and engage with somebody. I noticed that Africans tend to date more in groups, that you get them inviting you to things where there are more people, whereas, black men kind of date in isolation, weed, wine, and the lakefront. Drinking and smoking is low here, so do these things exist? Absolutely. But, it's not common to see a young African drunk or high or on drugs, which is every day now in the U.S. in terms of men. And these are men that expect to date. I'm bringing this up because these are men that actually consider themselves date material. Um, you do get you get the same gamut, the helpful guy, the patient guy, the the quiet and strong, the loud and boisterous, the hot dancer, the athlete. I mean, every facet of man is here, but you're still going to have the same issues in terms of sorting through personality, integrity, character flaws. You still have to go through um, the painstaking work of building a relationship and seeing what is who is this person that you like. So I'm not a matchmaker. I've had people say, mainly the men that'll say, "Do you have a friend in America? Do you have a female friend? Do you have a sister or someone that you can hook me up with?" And I tell them all the same thing. I am not your matchmaker. I don't believe in any of that. I know people do it. I'm not good at it. I don't want the responsibility for anything that goes wrong in it. I don't even want the accolades if it goes right. I think that pretty much you know what you like, pick what you like, and then deal with what comes of it. And that's what I do. So I don't do that. But I will tell you that if you come here and you're just trying to get a new prototype of man. If you say, "Look, I'm tired of these American guys. I'm tired of the American black man. I want to talk to somebody different." Then, it's an option. It's something that you can consider. But I still say, walk softly and carry a big stick, because people lie, they do deceive. They sometimes have multiples. They have other people that they're seeing besides you. And now, in this brave new world with technology, it's easy to carry on these other relationships on some level seamlessly. So you have to be cognizant of that. You have to already have your boundaries set in place about what you're gonna do, how deeply you're gonna invest in that, money, effort, travel, these sorts of things. You have to make a decision about that. There are some cultural differences that even I in this marriage face. Like, for example, and I tell my husband all the time, I said, I don't, you maybe, yeah, I have no idea why you was up online shopping for a black woman, because he doesn't like that I raise my voice. He doesn't like sometimes that I'm sharp tongued. I said, you can get rid of me, and I have friends that he think are nice women, cute women. I said, if you get them, you're gonna get the same thing. You're gonna get the same thing. This is how we are. Can we be calmer and cooler, and can we be more collected? I said, but listen, you're getting an intelligent American black woman. This is somebody that's educated, I'm cultured, I'm well traveled, and I still spike up. So you can just imagine what the average girl was doing. Um, and we are, least respected and least protected. And we're someone that that the master could have. He could literally conquer us in front of our men, and there was nothing that they could do about it. Like, the American black woman has been through some things that makes her sort of a different prototype of woman emotionally. And so, yeah, we fight. I said, yeah, we fight. We argue. We advocate. We buck. We kick back. So you're doing good if we can communicate and we want to negotiate and work with you. So some of this, like, trying to play it cool and ignoring, or, putting your head in the sand and not confronting the issue, it doesn't match well with us. Um, so yeah, you get that. You get the guy that wants you to be kind of silent. There's an expectation of domestication. I had to explain to my husband before I ever met him. I said, listen, I'm an intellectual. I'm an intellectual. I'm creative. I'm an artist. I'm not domesticated. Now, will I clean up? Yes. Am I nasty? No. But it's not my first inclination. And you have to pick me up knowing that we're going to do this in partnership, because I'm not the one. I'll hire somebody to do it, but I don't know how you do teaching and write books, and then you go and you're doing speaking engagements, and then you're, somehow getting up like you're Mary Maid. So these things have to be worked out, because this woman over here is very domesticated, and it starts with her as a child. So, it doesn't have to be the end of anything, and in fact, I think it can be the beginning of some things. So when I do surprise him and just kind of clean the whole house and clean, he loves it. Like, it's really a gift to him. Um, and I also look forward to giving that gift to him. I kind of already know how to surprise him that way. You have to know that the Ghanaian man is not romantic. He is a hunter. He will hunt you and pursue you and pursue you and hunt you and get you. He's a hunter. And once he's gathered you, he is not very romantic. So that's going to put a lot of work on you to put some of those pieces in place if you want to go out and enjoy and do things um, culturally and socially that way. Uh, what can I say other than that? So yeah, you can have a good time. You can make great friends. This is a man that's not uncomfortable going to church or acknowledging a higher power, whether he's Christian or Muslim. Uh, that's something that's very much there. I haven't had the experience of dealing with domestic violence here, although it is among them. I haven't had the experience of dealing with child abuse, although it is among them, but it's low compared to the American black man who now, because of drug culture, is laying a lot of hands on black women. There's a lot of domestic violence that used to not be there, and there's a lot of child abuse and child abandonment that used to not be there. I will say the two men have in common that the men, but for different reasons, seem to be unfamiliar with their children. You're thinking you're going to see this huge, deep, father, son, daughter bonding, and you don't see it. Pretty much the women spend a lot of time with children, and the men do not. Now, when they do, they do. But this is not a group that is familiar necessarily with their children. You're not going to find fathers sitting down doing homework. You'll find dads that play soccer and things like that, but they're not very familiar with their children. So you have to keep that in mind if you're hoping to build a family, that you are going to be the central teacher and the central care provider for your children. Uh, the other thing is, yeah, there's baby mama drama in Africa. You have men who have children out of wedlock or before they were married, and a lot of that still spills over into the current relationship where you just have um, women who are bitter, or they're sort of confused that this person has moved on and that they've gotten this Westerner as a wife. I've experienced that in this marriage. Um, and all of it's how, the two adults want to manage it. And all of these things require maturity because you have children involved. And if folks are going to be mature, it goes okay. If folks are not going to be mature, it goes just like it does in the States. It's just a lot of conflict, a lot of confusion, a lot of blocking children from seeing uh, potentially other siblings, or having an extended family uh, that's rich in culture and some other different experiences. So men are men. Um, when they good, they good. When they not, they not. Uh, you still find the same opportunisms that you find in the U.S., but you also find the same charismatic, lovely, hardworking, family-oriented people, men that you would find as well. So um, you have to come and figure it out on your own. But I would tell you, it's worth the discovery. That's what I would tell you. If you're interested in a Ghanaian man, you are not wasting your time to actually put the effort in and discover. But believe me, this is not the cure. This is not the answer. And don't think that one is better, because just as many Ghanaian men break hearts as the ones in the U.S., just as many Ghanaian men deceive and fall short as the one in the U.S. You have to come as a woman understanding that, yeah, they're just men.